Who knows? Theme music.
Who's the leader of the pack? Bringing legacy to you. LEGACY, it's true. Stand up, gear up, join the fight. We're as fierce as we can be. With grit and might, we claim the night. We're the legacy. Legacy Club. Legacy Club. Strong and unbreakable. Warriors with fire inside. In our hearts, we're invincible. Legacy Club.
Alrighty. Yeah, last time I went too long. I went too long on the intro. It's a science, and I haven't figured it out yet. I haven't figured out the nuances of awesome intro. There we go. Also, I don't know what this is going to be about. I have no plans. None at all. The day got away from me. It was by choice, pretty much. I chose to watch TV all day with the family. So I didn't get to editing the video. I got the audio podcast posted yesterday or earlier today. Just fine. That went up, no problem. But the video I took my time with. There we go. That's where I wanted it. So that got posted way late, and I didn't really have any time to really consider what to talk about. Actually, that's a lie. I thought about a couple things. But they were more than I cared to invest in this episode right now. There are episodes I will eventually do, I think. But yeah, I just didn't feel like doing it tonight. There was a lot of reading, retrospectives for the Sith from Star Wars, and then Hydra. I like villains. Hydra has a really cool logo. I want to know more about Hydra. Everyone's like, you like Nazis? I was like, no, they're not. I mean, kinda, but they're not. You know, Red Skull thought he had a greater motive than just being part of, you know, team bad guy in World War II. He had greater quests in mind, like finding Thor's hammer, and that wasn't one of them. It was the Tesseract. But I think in reality, in like real world, that was too loud. Man, I'm all over the place tonight. I think in real world, there's like a whole occult division of the Nazis, and they were looking for things like Thor's hammer and the Holy Grail and stuff. Isn't that one of the Indiana Jones movies? He's always fighting Nazis, right? You know, for the amount of times I've seen those movies, I really easily forget which is which. I can tell you literally every single aspect about Star Wars inside and out. I have my black belt. I have a black belt in Star Wars. But Indiana Jones, man, for whatever reason, I can't retain it. Like it doesn't stick. I like it, and I like it every time I rewatch it. But then I'm just kind of like, wait, which one's Temple of Doom? Which one was Raiders? You know, that's embarrassing. Probably there's probably a lot of people making fun of me about that, but it's okay. It's okay. I know more about Star Wars than you do. Odds are, and I'm willing to put that to the test. Anybody who wants to challenge me on like a Star Wars trivia, let's do it. Let's go. With the exception of Skeleton Crew. I haven't watched that yet, so we got to keep that out. Yeah, didn't care to read that in depth into either of those. I don't think I'll do Jedi because I just don't care. You know, I just really don't care. But I love the Sith so much so that I have a child named after the father of the Rule of Two, Darth Bane. Yeah. So who knows where this is gonna go? I gotta figure out where I need to be because I'm coming in hot. I'm all over the place. It's only 12:34. Isn't that like is that good luck that I see 1, 2, 3? Is that a thing? I know 11:11 is. But is 1, 2, 3 a thing? And for those of you on the audio only, I apologize for one, clearing my throat in your ear. But that break in speaking was I was taking a sip of water. If you were watching the video, you would have known that. We watched TV all day. We watched the inauguration. My wife and I, during the inauguration, were like, I've never watched one of these. She's like, I've never seen an inauguration before. I was like, you know what? Neither have I. It just, it never interested me, but it interested me today. And, you know, it was a whole to do. It was like the Macy's Day Parade, you know, a big happening. Speaking of Nazis, everyone was calling Elon Musk a Nazi for wild hand gestures. Like, I truly don't think that's what he was doing. He wasn't doing the old Roman salute. It just doesn't make sense to me. And within the context of what he was saying, like, it doesn't make sense that that's what he was doing. So I don't know. I just think anyone with a brain can really piece it all together. That's the problem. Nobody watches anything. Everybody has something to say about everything, but nobody watches anything. They watch short little bits of clips, and they're like, I know it. I know the situation inside and out because I watched 15 seconds on TikTok. Man, at least I miss the days when, like, you actually had to watch a full YouTube video to pretend to be an expert about anything. to pretend like you knew even just a little bit of what you were talking about, you had to watch at least a 25-minute YouTube video. Because at least then, when you compare 25 minutes to 15 seconds, I mean, you are technically a full-blown scholar in the matter. no matter what it is. I could give you the ins and outs on how to do a head transplant on an ape because I watched a 30-minute video on it on YouTube. Russians are crazy. Speaking of crazy, did you see that? Where was it? Was it China? I think it's China. They passed, like, they legalized something. They approved human and animal gene splicing, like making an embryo that's part animal and part person. That's crazy. Can you imagine that? I'm not going to look it up. I don't know if I'm right. I don't care if I'm right. But I definitely did see something like that on a 15-second clip on Instagram. So I basically have my bachelor's in the matter. But yeah, isn't that wild? I wonder like how that's gonna pan out. Like, is it only gonna be certain animals that you can do that with, or can you do that with any animal? Does it have to be a mammal? I would imagine it has to be a mammal. I don't really know if you could do that with, like, a reptile, because we're not even in the same what is it? I don't know the categories. Is it genus? I don't know. We're not even the same species. Is it species? They're lizards. They're reptiles, and we're mammals. We just don't go together. It's against God's plan. but the combining with other mammals is totally fine. I think it's in the Bible somewhere in the back. What if it is? You don't know. You don't know that I don't know. I do know. It's in there. I promise. A Bible. So one of them I'm sure has something like that in there. Yeah, I never specified which one. Is the Christian Bible the Bible? Yeah, I guess it's because, like, then there's the Quran and stuff like that. So I guess they all have their name, but the Bible is such a. But I guess it's the Quran too. So putting the in front of it really adds some gravitas to the whole thing. yeah, so I don't think it's going to be able. I don't think you could do reptiles. That doesn't make sense. But then does the size of the animal matter? Like, could you do this like combination of human and rodent? Because I mean, you can't really be a mouse; they're too small. Like, would you just have a giant mouse nose, or would you have a tail or ears? I think the ears would be the first thing to like really show mousiness, and the pointy face. There's people like that already who have really weaselly pointy faces. I'm sorry for one of those people, but you know, you guys exist. Ape makes the most sense, I guess, but that's boring. I mean, it's not boring. That'd be pretty wild to see, but you know, ape is just so predictable. We're so close already, like in relation to one another. It's too easy. It's too easy. Now, bat would be interesting, but here's the catch with bat. Does your eyesight go if you're a bat? And then, and I could be making this up, but I feel like I heard this at a zoo. Bats, is it a myth that they have poor eyesight? Or is it just so dark that they need to use their echolocation? They don't use echolocation because they are blind. They just live in darkness. And unless you have those like gigantic, not lemur, but you know, those other ones, the sugar gliders, I think, have those eyes too, but the ones with like the really big eyes so you can see in the dark. Bats don't have that, so they need the echolocation to get around in the dark. I don't think they're blind, so I don't think blind as a bat is a thing. I think that's a misnomer. So that kind of takes away, I have to breathe through my mouth. My nose is a little dry and clogged. That's what happens when you have a deviated septum. That's what happens. You get punched in the, look at it, that's crooked. That's not supposed to go that way. Where was I? Yeah. So it kind of takes away the whole thing of me wondering if your eyesight would go if you spliced with a bat. Because they don't really have bad eyesight. They might. I could be making all this up. I'm not going to look any of it up. I'm just going to say it like I know. Because I definitely have watched at least a 25 to 35, maybe even a 45-minute thing about bats on YouTube. So I'm, you know, kind of an expert in the matter. That would be cool. Would you get the wings though? But would they be attached? Like, would you just have like translucent flap from like your pointer finger down to your hip? Because that could be problematic. I would imagine if that tore, that would hurt. And the membrane is so thin. You couldn't get a Christmas tree. Like, you couldn't reach into like a real Christmas tree. You couldn't reach in there without ripping your bat flap. That would put a damper on the holidays. Because you know what I say? I say fake tree, fake Christmas. And I stand by that. Raccoon would be weird. When I think raccoon, I just think of Rocket. But Rocket is you know, atomically a raccoon. There's no human about him. You know, like, I think it's ape, man. Tiger, lion, that'd be interesting. I think that's what people would really go for. What would be the top three? Top three would be lion, tiger, some sort of other big cat. I think tiger. I think tiger would be more popular than leopard or jaguar or anything like that. So lion, tiger, and wolf. I thought bear for a second. Russia would definitely be bear. But in the U.S., I think it would go wolf. Lion, tiger, wolf. Maybe not in that order, but definitely. I mean, look at furries. You know what? Furries are a good indication of what it would be. It'd be a bunch of foxes and wolves. It'd be a lot of canine cross. And people love their dogs too, like in unhealthy ways, I think. I mean, healthy for the dog. The dog really makes out like a bandit in some of these weird relationships. But when like these people who treat their dogs like a child, often those people don't have children. So I get it. I get the natural human instinct and drive to procreate and raise young. They just they transfer all that into a dog. And it's always like the goofy looking tiny dogs too. Some people with bigger dogs, they do that as well, but I think more often than not, it's going to be like the little yappers. Some people do that with pit bulls too, though. I don't know. There's just all kinds of folks out there, but I think furries are the best indication on where that would go. It would just be a bunch of people wanting to be like foxes and coyotes and stuff. Is any furry a coyote? They're all like wolves and stuff, things like that. Nobody wants to be one of the dingy dogs. Nobody's walking around as a coyote. They want it to be more romantic, like a fox. A fox is more romantic than a coyote, especially if a coyote has mange. Have you ever seen those, the chupacabras? Or what people have deemed chupacabras? They're not the real chupacabras. The real chupacabras are much more terrifying. But yeah, coyotes with mange are often mistaken for the chupacabra. My wife saw one here in her parents' backyard. It like ran across the backyard or something, or like sat for a minute, like passing through, and she took a picture and sent it to me, and she's like, "What is this?" And I was like, "Oh, it's chupacabra. It's coyote with mange." I was really bummed out and disappointed when they were like, "Oh, we finally found the chupacabra," and it was they just deemed it like people have mistaken coyotes with mange as being a chupacabra all these centuries, which I don't believe. I don't believe that. I think all these things kind of existed. I think all these depictions of really mysterious temple carvings and drawings and whatnot, they're all there's bits of truth to them all. I think. Maybe. Yeah, because you see, like, every culture in the world has some sort of depiction of a dragon, so something like that existed. Something like that was real. What it was really, who knows? Giant, like, so many animals have gone extinct, just within the time humanity has existed on this planet. It's like so many animals have gone extinct. All the Ice Age animals, the megafauna, all went extinct. So if there was giant ground sloths living, side by side with humans, what's to say a gigantic dinosaur-sized lizard wasn't as well? We just haven't found the remains. Just saying. I'm not saying dinosaurs specifically from like the Cretaceous or Jurassic period or whatever survived all those, millions upon millions of years. But definitely could have been something. I mean, we got a giant crocodile right now. We got giant snakes that eat people in Florida. That's not even like an Amazon thing anymore. That's just, you go to Florida, you can find those giant snakes that could swallow you whole. It's terrifying, man. Florida is going to just, with how many unregulated exotic pets are just released into the wild to survive and thrive. It's going to eventually become just some sort of Amazon within itself. Bummer. It's going to be a bummer for Disney World. But, whatever. It's not going to be for a while. Yeah, we watched the inauguration, and it was wild. There was a school, a high school from very close to where we live. They got to be part of the indoor like marching band parade. That was neat. That was very cool. Good for them. I forget what the school was called, but it's in Smyrna, Tennessee. My wife knew what it was. She got really excited about it. Yeah, I don't know what else to say about it. It was interesting. It was interesting that, old Trumpy got straight to work. Like not the part where he was sworn in, the like his own celebratory rally kind of thing at the Capital One Center. Yeah, man, he sat down with his pen and started signing executive orders like right there on the spot. I don't know, has that ever happened before? At like a post inauguration rally, has a president ever sat down and just like, now watch me do work? It's like, wow, all right. He signed a bunch there at the event, and then he went back to the Oval Office and then signed like a whole boatload more. It's just like, dang, dude. It's almost like all those things you said you were gonna do, you're proving you're doing it on TV as we speak. Wild to see follow through. And that's a bipartisan statement that I just made. That's not a dig any which way. That's a dig at every politician leading up to this point. Like, what has stopped any of you from doing that? What has stopped any of you from following through on your word? And that's just politicians on every level. That's from like presidents, former presidents, whatever, to local congressmen, governors, mayors, just anybody. It just seems like there's not a lot of follow through. In the new Daredevil series, have you seen the trailer for the new Daredevil on Disney Plus? Daredevil Reborn? Bro. Like, yo, thank God for Deadpool Wolverine, because Disney is allowing some wildness just in the trailer. Just in the trailer, you see like the most vicious Matt Murdock we have ever seen. He's like jumping up and dropping it down on people's legs with his knee and snapping them. He's breaking arms in the trailer. Yeah, bro. And the Punisher's going to be in this season too. If the Punisher's around, like, the Punisher never does anything lightly. Like, Daredevil season 2 on Netflix, man. It's I mean, the Punisher series, like, they really nailed the brutality of old Frank Castle. So that's cool. But what made me think of that was in Daredevil Reborn, Kingpin is the mayor. And that just felt so fitting, especially when you're seeing everything with the fires in California. It's like that's as if the Kingpin was in charge. It's all money shenanigans and cross dealings behind the scenes, and then like the outward world unknowingly is set up for disaster. I don't think Gavin Newsom has it in him to be a villain, though. He just seems like a dumb guy. He doesn't seem smart enough to be, like, nefarious. Just seems like a just dumb jerk. He does jerk things, but he's too stupid to, like, really think the whole thing through. Just like the dude in Canada. What was his name? Justin Trudeau. We don't count him among the Justin ranks. Just want you to know. He stepped down though. He's resigned. He got scared. He was like, oh no, that guy won. That guy won down south. Oh, he doesn't like me. Oh man. Oh. And you know what's funny? Is like, I'm not saying anything that's celebratory or super right wing or whatever, but you know what? I bet you people are going to unsubscribe after this. And it's okay. It's all right. I mean, cool. This is me. This is who I am. So I'm clearly not for you. It'd be nice to be for some of you, though. That'd be cool. It'd be cool if people watch. Lots of camera shake, guys. I'm very sorry. I'm wired. I had coffee later than anticipated and chugged it. It was a banana split flavored coffee, which sounds very odd, but it was actually very good. Target. It's there. It's their Good and Gather coffee. Banana split, limited flavor, limited time. Had to try it. It was one of those purchases where I'm like, I don't know if I should get this. It seems like it could go very wrong. And if it goes very wrong, I just wasted money on it. And that sucks. Luckily, it went right. So, sometimes you win. You win some, you lose some. And you live to fight another day. But, yeah, man, I don't know, dude. It's crazy to think that we live in the world we do. It just all seems so written, scripted, but it's not, I don't think. Is it a simulation? I don't think it is. Could be, but it might not be. If it is, how many times do we get to go on this ride? How many times have we been on the ride? Elon Musk knows. I think he knows if it's a simulation. What if it is just his simulation? Simulation. And we're just all background. We're such advanced AIs that we could have our own podcasts. Wow. This is why I tried to think of things to talk about, or just do retrospectives on topics, because when I'm just left to my devices to just spew, I'll go. I'll just start saying stuff. I don't know. I derailed. I'm going to take a sip of water. I think that's what it is. I got to re-lubricate. You know what I noticed, though? The kinds of people who support Trump openly, they're all comedians and fighters. They're two of the most wild kind of people, but the most unabashedly real people, I would say. Because there really aren't any cage fighters or prize fighters who are full of BS. I mean, sure, there are some, but they're really kind of just because when you're able to physically rip apart pretty much anyone you meet ever, you really have no qualms with being authentically yourself. Where's the fear? Where's the hesitation to, if somebody's uncomfortable or somebody has something to say, I mean, no one's ever going to say it to your face when you're, a professional fighter. Because, I mean, smart people wouldn't say anything. They would just keep their mouth shut. But then you got those oddballs who are overly confident, who aren't afraid. But then at the same time, it's if you're going to be that kind of person, you should be, trained in some way, because some people are going to want to smack you for the things you say, and it's just a good idea to know how to defend yourself. And then comedians too. Comedians, their whole job, their whole profession is just being unabashedly themselves and being the people who are unafraid to just say anything, no matter how dark or vulgar or just unnecessary. They're so willing to say it, and it's just they get paid to do that. So that was interesting to me. Doesn't seem like there's a lot of fakers who support President Trump, which is just an observation I made, seeing all the very supportive posts on Instagram from both of these types of humans. But then again, that's just the types of humans I follow. I only really follow comedians and fighters, so that's all I see. So I don't really know what the rest of the world's saying. But if it is the rest of the world saying, negative, unsupportive things, they probably look the part. And they probably don't look like, mixed martial artists. They're probably the polar opposite side of the spectrum. physically, anatomically. Speaking of anatomy, apparently now it's a federal decree that there are only two genders, male and female. We live in we live in a world in a time where that has to be a federal decree. Remember when that was just like, duh. Oh, that's the kind of duh thing you learn like from the get-go, literally from the jump. One of the most common sense things, and it has to be somehow codified by the government that no, you don't just get to make up 365 different genders. That's not a thing. That's fun you can have between you and your friends and just at home, but that's not going to go on job applications or driver's licenses. We're not doing that. No. Cuz where does that end? Where does that end when you can just like endlessly make up different things? Like gender aside, but I mean, we could use gender as the example because that's been such the hot topic, and that's been such a point of contention of just, you know, he, she, they, them, theirs, himses and herses and zers and zims, and it's just like, where does it just... You can make an infinite amount of different combinations of sounds with your mouth. So really, there's no end. You wake up one day and you're like, you know, actually, I'm a spoof. I'm a spoof and spoof self. Just, it's a new one. Pull out the book, add it to the encyclopedia of pronouns. Would it be an encyclopedia? Would it be a dictionary? It'd be like a pronoun dictionary. You have to pull up a spoof, and a spoof is male from noon to 3 p.m. Monday to Tuesday, and then Wednesday to Thursday it's female, and then it's non-binary on the weekends. That's what a spoof is. Just endless, just an infinite amount of possibilities. Like, there has to be an end. But where do you draw the line? Where do you draw the end? In the most basic sense, biology. And that's it. There you go. That's the one you can prove genetically, so that's just going to be the baseline that we use for everything legal. Duh. But then, hey, at home with your friends, your family, you can be whatever you want. I don't care. If they want to play, then you guys can play. Nothing wrong with it. Nothing wrong with it at all. And see, this isn't like, you know, I don't know what you would call it. It's not transphobic. Is it transphobic? I don't even know anymore. But no, I support it. I just don't want to do it. So you can't make me. Bit. That was a thing, though. That was the thing with all of this that was going on. It was you have to do it. You have to do it. You have no choice. This is the way it is. You have to play along. It's like, but I don't want to. I don't care what you do. I just don't want to do it. It's silly. It's stupid to me. So I'm just not going to do it. I don't do other things that I find stupid. I don't juggle knives because I think that might be stupid. I mean, it's not stupid for the people who can do it at a very high level, or even, you know, no, it has to be at a high level. If you're mediocre at juggling knives, that I still would recommend. I would, you know, I would try to steer you away to focus on something else. But you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of stupid things I find stupid that I'm not going to do, and that's one of them. But then, no, you have to do it. You have to, that's it. You have to do it or you're bad. But I'm not bad. I just don't want to play the game you're playing. You don't want to play the game I'm playing, and that's fine. I don't think we should play together anyway. Not everybody has to be friends. Not everybody has to play together. Everybody has to coexist with one another because we're all of the same species living on the same planet. Like, there's got to be some sort of level of basic human decorum and like courtesy, but we don't have to play the same game. You know? We have to exist. We have to exist together. But we're not spending holidays together. We're not watching the Super Bowl at your house. I'm not inviting you to a barbecue. Like, you know, I see you at the grocery store and go, excuse me, as I go around you in my cart. And that's fine. And then we discover that we parked, you know, across from each other in the parking lot. And we go, oh hey, that's it. That's all we got to do. We don't need anything further. You ever wonder if you're making sense to the rest of the world? I texted my uncle the other day, and all I got back was, huh? But what I text him made perfect sense to me, and his response was, huh? So I explained it more, and he's like, no, I understand, but why did you word it that way? And I was like, I don't know. Is there another way to word it? That made perfect sense to me. Huh? Oh, speaking of family members saying very, very comical stuff, my son Bane woke up with, you know, his stomach was not feeling well today, and it was okay. Like he got sick this morning, but then the whole day he was chill, and then like as I was changing the sheets on his bed, he said he was starting to feel like a little uneasy again. So he asked me to get him like something to drink and stuff, and I came back and he's like, no, I don't want that. And I was like, okay. Oh, no. He came up with like a yogurt or something, and I was like, I don't know if that's going to be the best thing for like an upset stomach, but... And he's like, okay, can you take it back down for me and then get me this and get me this, but make sure when you get me this, it's this. And I was like, yeah, yes, sir. And he's like, Dad, you're not a peasant. And I was like, okay. He's like, you're not a peasant. You're a dad taking care of their child who doesn't feel good. I'm like, I'm aware. He's like, you're not a peasant. I was like, Thank you for the reassurance. All I said was yes, sir. I just wanted him to understand I processed his directions and I would execute them as expected. You're not a peasant. Oh, he says fun things. I'm so tired. I just want to lie down. And I will, eventually. How long have we been doing this? 38 minutes? We just do like a 45er. You know? Yeah, the whole day really was really just watching the whole events of the inauguration. It was just very interesting to see the process. It was interesting to see how it all goes. And yeah, man, it's a new dawn of a new era in the country, it seems. So we'll see. Is it going to be better? Is it going to be worse? Don't know. Are the aliens going to show up? Are things going to start to get better, and then the aliens are going to show up, and it's just like, oh, jeez, it's always something. Last time it was a pandemic at the end. Like, what's gonna be the thing to what's the curveball this time? Have they teased it already with these giant drones flying everywhere, which we still don't have really any sort of answers about. I wonder if now that Trump's president, he's going to be like, so this is what these drones are now. I'm going to tell you. I think he said he was going to say something, so we'll see. It is day one. It is day one, but with as many things as he like all, as many executive orders that were signed and all the things that he did and all the things that have happened just in less than 24 hours, it's like, man, what is the rest of the week going to be like, let alone the next 4 years? Like, what? We're starting this with a whirlwind. And there are people out there who are like still not getting it. There's still people out there who are like, he's a fascist, and today is a day where hate is prevailing. But it's like, what do you mean hate? Hate for what? Watch something. Stop with your 15-second clips. Stop with looking at a photo on social media and then going like, aha, I know it all now. No, spend a little more time. Spend a little more time actually like checking out what's happening in its fullest. Just the whole thing. Just take it all in. Take it all in and then make a determination. But don't make any determinations with like having little to no knowledge of the situation itself. You know, if there's nothing else to take away, walk away with that. Do more research. Not even like extensive research. Just trade in the 15-second stories or reels or TikTok videos. Trade in this 15-second intake of information and like invest a few more minutes. Invest a few more minutes into seeing a little bit more than a glimpse of time. I think you'll just feel like a more fulfilled individual if you have a better just like cursory basic understanding of the greater picture than what you're getting in 15 seconds, or even just like regurgitating or parroting what you saw someone else say. You saw someone else say, and you're just like, oh, okay, so that must be that's it. Because it's never it. It's never it. I'll go out with this. Once upon a time, I knew a guy, and it was when like Dave Chappelle started doing those Netflix specials way back when, and everybody was calling him a transphobe, and he was transphobic this and transphobic that. And anybody who had actually watched his Netflix special to the end would understand that everything he said was in tribute to a trans friend he had who regrettably and unfortunately took their own life because of the ridicule and bullying they were receiving from within the trans community. Like, but no, I knew a guy who was part of the Dave Chappelle's a transphobe parroting, and I was just like, why are you saying that? And he's like, because everybody's saying that. Like, it is like that's what it is. That's just the consensus. And I'm like, yeah, but did you take in the content itself? Did you take the time for yourself to see what was actually being said, what he was actually saying, what the content itself actually is, and not just basing your opinion on what everyone else is saying and what you're told to believe? Like, actually go to the source, look at it yourself, and then build your determination. No, I don't need that. That doesn't make sense. I don't need to do that. So what I was being told was, I don't need to go and look into things myself, I'm perfectly content with reiterating what I'm told. And that has been the biggest problem in this country since before that specific instance. It's just with social media now, people don't know, like they've gotten lazy and they take social media as their source of reality, or they take CNN or Fox News or just like mainstream media and clickbait media and rage bait media, and just like they take that as gospel, they take that as fact, and then they base their whole identity and belief on it, and they spread the disease onto the next person by repeating the untrue nonsense that they themselves were fed, instead of just looking themselves, just experiencing the whatever the content is, whatever the issue is, just whatever the event is, just taking it in at its source for themselves, and then developing an opinion. It's maddening to me. Maddening. Like, it's just, how are you okay being that way? Like, you don't even have an ounce of curiosity within yourself to be like, I want to see what that's about. I want to see for my own. I want to see it with my own two eyes. I want to hear it with my own two ears. And then I'm going to be like, this is how I feel about it. Yeah. Don't be that person. Be the expert. Be the person that invests just a few more moments of life to better understand everything. Hey, take a few moments of your life and go to leallegacy.com and take in the content we have there. It's a lot of fun content. It's all stuff that can, be taken in and thrown away. Just enjoy it and move on. LealLegacy.com. We got commentaries, we got vlogs, we got POV vlogs, we got video game streaming, we got music, we got all kinds of fun stuff for your entertainment needs. And then you can show your support and your appreciation for all the content we produce by going to Legacy Club Clo, the Clo stands for clothing.com, and picking yourself up something nice from our Leal Legacy, our Legacy collection, which is just a bunch of Leal Legacy iconography and different fun designs. This is one of them. There you go. Or our golden fists or golden gloves. Boom. We have some buffalo plaid stuff that I'm really hyped on right now. I should order some of that for myself, actually. So I can not just talk about it, I can show it off in action. Or if, you're not a diehard Leal Legacy fan yet, you can check out our other lines, like our Disnerd collection, which is all designs inspired and done as tributes to various things in the Disney legacy. And if you're not looking to spend any money, that's cool too. You can just go to your favorite podcast provider of choice and YouTube and Rumble and anywhere else our content is available, and subscribe, leave a comment, leave a review, smash the like buttons. Do all those things and help us rise the ranks of the almighty algorithm so more people can join in on all the fun. And even beyond that, the most old school of ways, being a friend and telling a friend. And with that being said, thanks for being a friend and telling a friend, and I will see you tomorrow. See ya.